So there's a couple ways that we can go through fat oxidation. And just real quickly, I want to go over the definition of fat oxidation. It says, it is the process by which the body breaks down fats, triglycerides, into smaller molecules such as free fatty acids and glycerol. This is the glycerol backbone, which can then be used as a source of energy. This process occurs primarily in the mitochondria of the cell and is an important part of the body's energy metabolism. So, as we do things like working out and stimulating muscle, we are stimulating our metabolism, right, as an organism, thermically, to heat up, create that stressor, and begin metabolizing fat. As long as we're in a caloric deficit, I tend to try to stay away from high glycemic foods, so stuff that doesn't spike the blood sugar too much, because then that also, directly after spiking the blood sugar, the pancreas creates insulin, and that's what forces the blood sugar into the cells or to store as fat if we're not in a deficit, and drop the blood sugar. So fat oxidation is something that if you're feeling a bit of a euphoria, and you're feeling kind of, if you feel leaner, that's one of the psychological key things that I look for when I'm going through a fat burning process and I'm trying to metabolize the fat off my body, is I tend to want to feel my muscle and my skeleton and feel the leanness of it. Even though I might be able to like pinch fat and feel it, it feels completely separate from the muscle underneath, okay? So creating ATP, adenosine triphosphate, to use that energy in the mitochondria of the cell is one of the fuel avenues, because there's dual fuels. You have carbohydrates and fats. The first one being what you burn first, your sugar, things like breads, pastas, cookies, cakes, and waffles. Those things, when you eat that, you're going to have to burn that off through your muscles, using that blood sugar, using that energy that's pumping in the blood, and the excess will be stored in the liver, right? Until you burn through that liver storage, you got to deplete that liver storage before the body and the metabolism can shift into burning the fat and slowly creating the energy through the fatty triglycerides from the fat on the body, okay? So that's just kind of part of fat oxidation. Typically, I like to, it's one thing to assume that you're going through it, and it's a complete other to then like shaking your head and going, oh yeah, I definitely am, because there's no doubt about it. Like I can feel it skeletally on the muscle. I can feel it somewhat through fatigue, but you also need to take in salt so that you don't get cold sweats and you can keep your nervous system firing, because salt is the biggest electrolyte. Yeah, so on and so forth. Hope that helps. Peace.